This is America Weekend. I'm Mike Bennett. A regular contributor here is Greg Quinn, naturalist and farmer, who is responsible for bringing black currants back to the U.S. market and grows the currants on his farm in the Hudson Valley, New York.
I'm Greg Quinn with this week's Notes from the Currant Farm. Mice are a constant presence here on the farm, and in addition to their bad habit of sneaking into the farmhouse in the fall, they are one of the first hosts of the deer tick, spreading this unwelcome Lyme disease-carrying arachnid everywhere. So I'm happy to share the farm with other animals that naturally help to control the population of these pesky critters. One of the more common mouse hunters that patrol the fields and gardens of the farm is the garter snake. There are many species and subspecies of garter snakes, and they populate the entire United States. It's one of the most common snakes in the country. The origin of the name garter snake has been lost to history. Some think it's because the three stripes that run the length of the body resemble the garters that men used to wear to hold up their socks. Others think it's a corruption of the German word Garten, meaning garden, because that's often where they're found. Whatever the origin is, these little guys eat mice, and just about anything else, from ants and crickets to frogs, toads, lizards, frogs' eggs, small birds' eggs, and even minnows that swim too close to the shore of the old farm pond. They often prefer live prey, and as with most snakes, their expanding jaws and ribs enable them to swallow a mouse several times the size of the diameter of this slender snake. It would be the equivalent of you or I swallowing a 50-pound hamburger whole. Like many reptiles, the garter snakes go into brumation in the fall. Brumation is similar to hibernation, but differs in that while the animal does not eat and sleeps for many months, it will periodically wake up to take water and then return to sleep. When the warmth of spring ends the brumation period, the mating season begins. Males generally come out of their dens first and wait for females. When the females emerge, they produce a pheromone which attracts every male in the area. The female is quickly surrounded by up to 25 males who push and shove and coil around each other, forming what's called a mating ball. After mating, the males then move on to the next female. Some snakes lay eggs, and some give birth to live young. The garter snake falls into the latter category, and while a young female may have only 3 young, an older snake measuring up to 35 inches can produce up to 80 offspring in a single litter. The largest litter on record is reported to be 98 little snakes. Until recently, this harmless snake was thought to be non-venomous, but recent research has revealed that they produce a mild neurotoxin venom. However, they lack the hollow frontal fangs possessed by other dangerous snakes to inject it. They have enlarged teeth in the back of their mouths, and the weak venom is spread to the prey through a chewing action. If disturbed, the garter snake may coil and strike, but they're harmless to humans, and often they'll hide their head and flip their tail. They also discharge an unpleasant, musky-scented secretion to deter predators. Snakes are one of those animals that often strike fear in people, and there are certainly many species that can do great harm with their venom. But the garter snake is not one of these, and is a welcome neighbor and more than earns his place on this little ecosystem here on the Currant Farm. For a podcast of this and previous notes from the Currant Farm, and to find out how the currant harvest is going, go to Currants.com. That's Currants with an A.
And with naturalist and farmer Greg Quinn, I'm Mike Bennett, and this is America Weekend.